Hey friends, Mahin here. You may have already watched some videos on things to start doing in 2023 to improve your health, happiness and productivity. And usually on this channel I share habits for you to develop to improve your lifestyle areas such as exercise, diet, sleep, social connection and mental well-being. Just as I help my patients to do daily to manage their pain and improve their overall health. However, in this video, I'm going to cut through the thick cloud of what you should be doing and let you know about the one habit that will change your life in 2023. I covered the 8 habits to quit in 2023 in my previous video last week, and as you can imagine, doing the opposite to this will benefit you to no end. But there was one habit that I left out of that video, the one I'm going to talk about today, and the one that potentially could have the biggest impact on your life in 2023. So, here goes. There is a really common misconception that the harder we work, the better results we get. This can be through dating, to find a partner, trying to make more money, being liked by others, or cramming in more work so we can enjoy our lives more. But this is a myth. Working harder does not always lead to better results past a certain point. Up to a point, working hard is absolutely necessary, but past this point, working smart becomes more important. Let's look at a few examples. 4,000 years ago in ancient Egypt, 2 brothers competed to build 2 pyramids to win a lifetime of riches from the pharaoh. First brother got to work immediately by physically dragging all the stones into place, and within a few months he'd built the bottom foundation of the pyramid. Meanwhile, the second brother didn't lay a single brick and spent all of his days in his workshop. So the first brother asked the second, "Why are you not building your pyramid? You're gonna lose the race." And the second brother replied, "I am building my pyramid, leave me alone." So 2 years went by and the first brother, although having made more obvious progress, started to struggle physically. He kept putting on more bricks, but they became harder and harder to lift, making it hard to complete the pyramid. Meanwhile, the second brother had just started getting to work. It actually turns out that for the previous 2 years, he'd been building a crane in his workshop. So he got his crane out and started effortlessly laying brick by brick at a far quicker pace than his brother ever had. The first brother was so drained that a year later he actually died from physical exhaustion, while the second brother completed the pyramid and earned the prize of a lifetime of riches from the pharaoh. The moral of the story is that we want to be able to achieve more with less effort, and in other words, work smart, not hard. Let's now take a look at 2 more examples that may be more relevant to you and something you might have experienced before. How many times have you heard or even experienced yourself that when trying to find love, the less likely it is to come to you? However, when not looking for love, it tends to find you. This is often the case with dating and romantic relationships, but the same can be applied to friendships as well. Maybe this is because the harder you try to be liked or put yourself out there, the less like yourself you behave. Although not obvious, it may be perceived by the other person that you're not being genuine, therefore making you less likable. When you're not trying too hard to be liked, the more confident you appear in yourself and the more genuine and appealing you become. So overworking is an example that I definitely realized last year. When we cram in more work, it leaves less time for exercise, eating well, prioritizing rest and sleep, and socializing. All things that are great for our overall and brain health, making us less stressed and more productive. However, by having less time for these, it leads to more stress and eventual burnout. The results of this are reduced productivity and motivation. So here we can see the value of developing the habit of working smart, not hard. Of course, I'm not saying that it's not important to work hard, because of course it is to a certain point. But past this point, we often fill our time with unnecessary or low value work that doesn't lead to any further results, just like the law of diminishing returns. The hard part is finding out exactly what is not leading to any further results and eliminating this completely. It's also really important to be able to prioritize effectively, as if everything is a priority, then nothing is a priority. A quote that I read years ago that has really stuck with me is that people often overestimate what they can achieve in a year and underestimate what they can achieve in 10 years. I've recently thought about my 5-year plan, and as I do at the beginning of every year, I've written down my goals for this year that will push me closer towards that 5-year plan. However, this year I've tried really hard to not make the same mistake that I usually do in trying to overestimate what I can achieve in just 1 year. Because when I've done this in previous years, it's left me feeling like a failure at the end of the year when I look back at the things that I haven't achieved. This is just how the human brain works. We'll always look at the tasks that were not completed and the goals that were not met, rather than focusing on the stuff that was actually achieved. I achieved quite a lot last year in 2022, but I still had the feeling that I hadn't got to where I wanted. This was so demotivating as I'd worked so hard, but just because there was a couple of goals I didn't achieve, I felt like not much progress was made. We know that the most important thing to maintain good habits and productivity is starting small and slow if necessary and maintaining that momentum. Consistency over intensity. When we set goals that are too big, this can be daunting and feel like an uphill climb all year with the end always feeling just out of reach. So don't try as hard, set smaller goals and tick these off as you go throughout the year. These small wins give a great sense of achievement, which is rewarding and sets off a positive feedback loop that keeps us doing it over and over again. This improves our motivation to continue and good habits are formed. For more ways to form good habits that stick this year, check out my goals and habits playlist next. This has my top videos on turning bad habits into good ones, how to set goals based on your values, and how to achieve these. Otherwise, thanks for watching, have a lovely day, and I'll see you on the next video.